Kids these days, they be talking about Tyler. Tyler, the Creator. Goblin, review. Let's go. Attempt number 3, let's go. Um, First thing I'd like to say is that I was watching VIMTV's review of this. Thought it was excellently done. Well done, guys, as usual. But I thought the best, possibly the best thing they said, and maybe what was giving me trouble reviewing this, is that this album changes, fluctuates, how much I like it fluctuates so much. From one listen, I'll be like, wow, this is the worst album ever. Next listen, holy shit, he is a revolutionary genius, Tyler's a badass, all this, blah, 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 blah. I think I've come to a final good score. So, overall, after listening to it about maybe 15 or 20 times, because it is that interesting, I didn't like it. But yet, somehow, I managed to listen to it 20 times without losing interest. That's what's weird about this album. There's something so alluring and awesome about it, this whole concept of, of a paradox. The whole album in itself is a paradox. The single Yonkers is the most obvious example of that. But think about the album like this. He keeps saying that he's going to rape people, kill people, and then he says, don't listen to what I say. That's a paradox too. But I think if you search deeper, I think a bigger paradox is when he's trying to say that he doesn't care what people think, and yet the whole album seems to be a response to what people have thought about his hype, what people think about him. And the thing is, though, with that paradox, I'm not sure if it's on purpose, and I'm not sure if I like it. Maybe it's just because Tyler makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. So when I first heard of Odd Future, they made me uncomfortable, and I think that is an element in music that is the best possible thing you can have. I think all of the best music somehow has some sort of tension, makes you uncomfortable in some sort of way, and that's what was really good about them. And here's the thing: Tyler is Odd Future essentially. Earl is really good. Haji Beats is really good. No one else in Odd Future has any talent. There are 10 members. 3 of them can rap. That's not good. And his whole idea of I completely lost my train of thought there. My bad. His whole idea of having this paradox doesn't totally work when he appears like, a weakling figure here. And he does at points when he's saying, when he's complaining about people not liking him and stuff, it's like, get over yourself, please. Like, it's like such a long Twitter post. It's like a Twitter post with no character limit, because this album is very long. And if I wanted to read a Twitter post, I would go to his Twitter, which I don't even like, because I don't like people that capitalize the first letter of every word. But whatever. Let's go into a more sort of fundamental review here. The lyrics. The lyrics are range from being terrible to very clever, just like everything else on this album. I think he uses wordplay, double meanings really well, and I think he is a really good lyricist. And I think, although he likes to have the image that maybe he just fucking writes them off the cuff, or sort of, just takes life experiences and puts them into Word, not Microsoft Word, Word form. I think he spends a lot of time writing these lyrics, and I think he crafts them, and none of them are accidental. They're all there for a reason. But the problem is, like I said, with the Twitter response, when he's spending all his energy and wordplay focusing on saying why, American White Teenagers, his biggest fan audience. I mean, look who's reviewing it on YouTube. I mean, or complaining about them or whatever. I think that's it. It ends up sounding a bit silly. However, when he's earnest and sincere, or when he's being a badass and not focusing on what people think, I think he does a really good job. Yonkers is really good. I think Trunkhead is really good. Sandwiches, Golden, the last song. He has one great line. People say when he's talking about people chanting "Free Earl." They won't get an, or they don't have, they want a new CD, but he wants his best friend back, something to that extent. Really strong line there, really excellent stuff. So I think lyrically it's a mixed bag. He's a very good lyricist. He has a great delivery. That guttural growl is unheard of in rap. It's very new, very different, and I don't think anyone else will replicate it. I think that's a voice that is a distinctive Tyler voice, and he definitely has a distinctive personality. Now the beats are bad. I'm not gonna lie. Yonkers has a good beat. Essentially, all the songs I liked have good beats because that is also what was holding a lot of songs back. The fact that maybe he would have some good lyrics in there, but the beat was not so good. I think I like the fact that he does try to build his beats. He doesn't just let them loop stagnantly, but some of them are so amateur. The drums on there are really poorly done. And a lot of times they just waver there. The bass isn't strong enough. It's not well mixed. And, people forget, people think, oh, he's all independent and stuff, but this album came out on XL. That's a major label. If he's signed to a major label, he should have better production than this. Sorry. It just needs to improve. It needs to get better than that. And that is, I think that's the biggest flaw in this album. Besides anything conceptually, I think the beats are pretty bad. They make me lose interest every time I gain it. He also half-asses the concept of TC or Tyler's conscience, which I think he did really well on Bastard, of having that conscience and being talking to him. And other than Goblin, the first song on here, which is really similar to the first song on Bastard, he really does not employ TC very much or very effectively, except for in vocal effects in songs, which is really annoying, actually. I think he puts way too many effects on his voice in songs. Nightmare could be a good song, but is ruined by the effects that he has on his voice the whole time. It's very strange. Or not Nightmare. I always confuse this. Transylvania, not Nightmare. Sorry. And then the R&B elements he brings to She are really pretty weak. I mean, like that is completely out of sync with everything else he's doing there. And of course, you can just point to that being a paradox, but I just think it's bad is the problem. So whatever. Not a great album, but I can see why you would like it. I am expecting something great from him in the future at some point. In the odd future. 4 out of 10 is what I can give it. That's all it deserves. So, see you guys later next time. Peace.